Texas Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a real treat today? In the house is Mr. Darius Davis, three-time UIL state champion from Veterans Memorial High School down in Mission, Texas, a proud patriot. In 2014, he was the state 4A number sense champion, and in 2015, he was the Class 5A number sense and mathematics state champion. Mr. Darius Davis in the house. Let me take a quick moment and ask that if you enjoy this content, that you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's spread this joy, let's spread this beauty to as many people as possible. Darius Davis, three-time state champion in the house. Right ahead. My name is Saul Gatu, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Texas Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a treat today? In the house is a three-time state champion, UIL state champion. In 2014, he was the 4A number sense state champion, and in 2015, he was the 5A math and number sense state champion. From Veterans Memorial High School out of Mission, Texas, a proud patriot, Darius Davis in the house. Welcome, Darius.
Hey, good to be here.
Hey, I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so happy to have you here, man. We're going to delve deep into your UIL experience, and I'm so happy. Let's start off by asking, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm out in my own place in Fort Worth. I live alone. It's just a nice, peaceful existence. You know, I'm vibing. It's great.
So home's in Fort Worth?
Currently, yeah.
How do you pay the bills?
My lease is up in a couple months, though, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that.
Okay. Hey, how do you pay the bills? What are you doing for a living? What's the career?
So I'm working as a data engineer at a small-ish healthcare benefit, I don't really know what to call it, company. Basically, we do like outreach for government benefits on behalf of healthcare plans.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Sounds important, man. You've been helping out a lot of people.
Yeah, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think our LinkedIn page just said a couple of months ago that we just helped our millionth person, so feels pretty good.
Wow. Hey, man, healthcare is important, man. Healthcare is very important. So that's awesome. So is it all work or no play? How do you have fun?
So I'm like kind of one of those people who juggles hobbies and stuff. Just like I get super obsessed with a thing and then I get super obsessed with another thing. So currently I'm super into like art, trying to like be able to draw, like getting better at the piano, that sort of thing. But if you ask me next week, it could be guitar, it could be just video games. So
All right, wherever the wind
all over
blows.
the place. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's great. Hey, that's great, right? It's all about having fun. Awesome, awesome. Hey, so where are you from, born and raised, and what is your cultural heritage?
So I'm from Edinburgh, Texas, originally, which is a hop, skip, and a jump away from Mission. When I was young, my family moved around a bunch, so we lived in Austin for like my formative years, and moved around to like places around the Austin area, and then San Antonio, and then back down to the Valley when my mom actually got a job at Vets. So that's sort of my life story in a nutshell. And as far as cultural heritage, I'm Black Hispanic. My mother is the Hispanic part. My dad is Black. Um, it's kind of weird. I have kind of a weird relationship with my cultural heritage just because I was always closer to my Hispanic side of the family. They all lived in the Valley. Um, but, well, I'm also Black. And so it's like, at school, you're not another Hispanic guy. You're the Black guy. There's like people that I can think of top of my head that were Black in my school. So it was always a little bit weird. But yeah, no complaints about that.
In the Valley, you'd be extreme minority. It's almost overwhelmingly Hispanic. Hey,
Yeah,
did you pick up Spanish?
I'm ashamed to say no. My mom is fluent. My mom's entire side of the family is fluent, and I took 3 years in high school, 3 years in college, and just haven't used it.
That's funny. Hey, but you get along in the Valley just fine.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, when did you realize that you had a talent for mathematics?
It's okay. So, I mean, when I was really young, like obviously, you have the, like math sheets. There's like, one by one multiplication. I was always fast at those and that sort of thing. But honestly, I never really thought I was like that great at math until like middle school. And at some point, they were like, like, hey, you're good at math. You should try number sense. You should try calculator. So I guess then, but also I'm kind of the kind of person who's like, am I really good? Like I'm a kind of big fish, but there's bigger ones.
Hey, you're good. 3-time state champion. You're real good. You know what I'm saying? So, did you get introduced to competitive mathematics in middle school?
Yeah, so yeah, I had actually never heard of UIL until I was in seventh grade. And seventh grade was the year that we'd moved to Mission. So I was kind of like, we bounced around a lot. I wasn't really trying to do that much. So it wasn't until eighth grade that they were like, hey, no, do this.
Oh,
You
really?
seem smart, do this.
And was it UIL or was it math counts or mostly like number sense calculator?
So funnily enough, in middle school, I focused on science. Uh, so our middle school, Mission Junior High, I don't know if he's still there, but the coach, David Land, super, super good with science. He'd always get a ton of his kids to state. TMSCA state has actual, standards in middle school. They don't in high school. But so, yeah, we'd always get a ton of kids there and then like one or two kids for calculators and then math and number sense for,
Okay.
So actually, I didn't make state in either math or number sense my eighth grade year.
Okay. Okay. So who inspired you? Was it that Mr. Lance?
No, I don't know that I really have any inspirations. So much as just I I guess I got to high school. I was planning on doing UIL science. Found out, oh, there's not a team, basically, you know. But the calculator team was, I think, they were back-to-back state champs or something like that, coming into my freshman year. And so, I got encouraged, hey, go check out, the math teams. Uh, and so there's this big cohort of, I think, 9 juniors my freshman year. And so, the coach was like, he took advantage of it. You know, you could have everyone kind of specialize in something because you have this just giant group of juniors. So he was like, yeah, just do number sense or something, you know, like you seem okay at that, do it.
All right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Did those 9 juniors mentor you or make fun of you? You know how guys are.
So they were all cool, but I wouldn't necessarily say mentor. There was one, but like she fell off the map basically sophomore year. So
Okay. Okay. So 2014, 2015, what was Veterans Memorial High School like? Was the academic environment very rigorous? Did you enjoy the social scene? What was Veterans Memorial High School like? In particular, because you were an extreme minority. I'm kind of curious.
so I was an extreme minority. And actually, my brother had graduated. He wasn't in like UIL, but he was also a junior. So he just left. So you know there was even fewer of us. Uh, but also like I how can I say this without sounding conceited? Like people kind of knew like you know I was the smart guy by then. I guess you know I had taken like some AP tests or something like that that other people didn't take, and I was like, yeah, I passed them. So they're like, you know, oh, this guy's super smart. Um, so you know, there was never really any of that. Like instead of anything like you know Darius is this or Darius is that, it was like yeah, Darius you know just got third at state in number sense. Darius you know is in choir. Darius is in National Honor Society, like all that stuff. You know, Darius gets good grades.
All right. So you got a reputation for being very smart.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much, but I did. Yeah.
Hey, hey, you got to embrace it, man. You know, being smart. So, was there a cohesive team, or were you working mostly solo? Did you all go to many competitions in the local area?
Yeah. So you can kind of split it actually between like when the juniors were there or when you know that class of people was there and when they weren't. So more or less, the same guy was the coach for all three teams, and there was a new science building that had these gigantic rooms, and he was a physics teacher, so we could fit like you know 15 people just taking tests and doing stuff. So it felt really cohesive, especially because there were so many people who were like you know, there was a group of like six of them, I think, who all went to the same elementary school and the same middle school and the same high school. So like they knew each other, they were friends, and like it kind of could like spread out from there, you know. Uh, and then my sophomore year, the coach left, and that group was like kind of jaded and done with it. So uh, it was kind of just me and then the freshmen for a lot of it. But then it like picked up a lot again, you know, like we got a bunch of people. We had a smaller group, but like a core group of people. We would go to the library, study. We would do like, you know, 2, 3 hours after school. It was a little different because there were two coaches now, one for math and number sense and one for calculator. But yeah, I think it was, except for my sophomore year, always really coherent and cohesive.
Now, were you a driving force behind practicing and behind the team and the work ethic that was being established? Were you a great driver of that?
Not freshman year, but definitely sophomore year. I was really mad that I got fifth in freshman year because like the scores were terrible my freshman year in number sense. Like I think first place was 264 and I got a 226 or something like that, but like I missed like 16 questions or something like that. So I was like super angry. So I was like trying to get everyone in gear, trying to get those the seniors to like, you know, actually do stuff. Never really could. But you know, I think I got to the freshman at least.
So your loss motivated you.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, do you want to do any shout outs to any of the coaches or any of your teammates?
Man, the list is like way too long. Like honestly, Mr. Watt, Mr. Reyna, the coaches for math and number sense and calculator. Um, you know, Hector was on the math team, number sense team, really smart guy. CJ, same thing. Henry, really great guy. Kimberly, Kellen, like just all the people who kind of like I helped to teach and that were like there with me, like sophomore year was hard because, like the teams stayed the same. The same people were on the teams. They just didn't like go to stuff. I'm not going to begrudge them too much. Obviously, your coach leaves and like you're a senior in high school. So, can't blame you. But as a sophomore, it was frustrating. Still, shout outs to all of them. Like, let's see if I can. Gabriel, Michelle, Vero, Gavin, Adrian, Kivani, Lisa, Aaron, Juan. I think that's all of them. And then Matthew Sparks, because I love that guy.
All right.
And yeah, that was like all my teammates. Thanks for letting me, thanks for sitting through that.
All right. All right. Awesome. Awesome.
Also,
Yeah.
quick side shout out to like all the other coaches and like the parents who like helped make things possible because like there were a lot of students and I mean, you're a coach, you deal with high schoolers.
It can be
It's
difficult,
fun, but I can't imagine it's not stressful.
It can be. It can be. It can be. No doubt. Hey, that was a great shout out. Great shout out. Hey, so I'm really curious. What kind of study habits, what kind of study regimen did you have to have in order to become a 3-time state champion?
So I mean, a lot of it, I think, especially for number sense, kind of loops back to the fact that I was just intentionally specialized with number sense my freshman year. So like I had all the time and resources and the team to like go hammer that constantly. So just having teammates that were able to answer most of my questions at the very least, because with number sense and math especially, like the stuff on the tests isn't super hard or complex math. It's like just difficult because you have the time crunch, so having people to teach me the foundational stuff so that it just became like, okay, how much do I want to get better, get faster, that sort of thing. Actually, question, do people still use ZeniMac?
Cinemac?
ZeniMac. It's arithmetic.zenimac.com. It's like a little number cruncher training thing.
No, is it a good resource? Is it still alive?
Yeah, it's yeah. Actually, yeah. So it's basically, and I'll check it out on better.
So was this site kind of critical to your development?
Yeah. So it's labeled arithmetic game. It basically gives you a randomized like between addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division problems. It's just like a 2-minute
Drill?
just like see how many you can get. Yeah, a 2-minute drill, and it's addition by default range 2 to 100 plus 2 to 100, and then multiplication 2 to 12 by 2 to 100. So like I know that 12 times 93 is 1116 because of that. It like really helps to just get all those things to the point where it's like you don't think of the math. You think, okay, that's that.
Oh, wow. Instantaneous. Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. Did you have rivalries in those days? Any local rivalries? Any state rivalries? Who would you consider a rivalry back in those days?
So there's a couple. The aforementioned Matthew Sparks, actually.
Matthew?
Not really a rivalry because he always beat me, but I felt like he was my rival because he always beat me. He was the year above me, and he was the valedictorian. He's like dancing on Broadway now. He's incredible.
Wow.
But yeah, it was uncanny. Like every single time I thought I had a super good test, he beat me by 7 points or 5 points. It was crazy. So him, outside of school, really just whoever was, whoever was good. Freshman year was Pine Tree. Like we knew that they were the biggest threats for number sense. After that, Hallsville was really good for a couple of years. Liberty, specifically Vic Ranch or Viker. Apologies if I pronounced that badly, but really, I didn't really think of him as a rival. But like, I went back and looked at the results, and it's like, yeah, he was like basically up there with me the entire time. Like I think senior year, I got first in number sense, first in math, and third in calculator. He got first in math, tied with me, first in calculator, second in number sense.
Wow.
Like it was like always really close between the two of us. And then I guess special shout out to my junior year where it was kind of like a short-lived one, but Jack Terrell and Will Root, we all got 323s at regionals. So there was a question thrown out, so all of us, finished the test, missed 8. And so it was like, who's going to win? It's going to be one of those 3 because I think the next score down was like a 260 something. So, I got to chat with them a bit at state that year and, got to gloat a little,
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, what calculator did you use?
So I used a TI-89 titanium for math, and for calculator, I used a TI-89 titanium, and just that. Don't let anyone tell you you need an HP.
So you just did the regular algebraic entry?
Yeah.
Wow.
On an extremely related note, I would always win tiebreakers because I would miss comps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like my senior year, I got 3rd, and I only got 3rd because I won the tiebreaker because I got more story and geometry. Because I would always miss like 2 or 3.
And you were good at the math. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, what is your most memorable moment or moments from those years?
So the first one that comes to mind, actually, to zoom back to my freshman year. So there were 4 juniors that were supposed to be on the number sense team. They'd all gone to state together the previous year. So I wasn't necessarily, supposed to jump in. So I, improved really quickly. And so, there was the thought like, maybe I can break on the team, maybe, that sort of thing. And the problem was, I was really inconsistent, if you couldn't tell. I'd get like a 189 because I got to, however far and only missed 9. And then I'd get like a 130 because I missed 28 or something like that. But TMSCA State, my freshman year, I got a 254, which was the highest score in 4A. And that was kind of the moment that my coach was just like, okay, yeah, I have to consider putting this guy on the team.
Wow.
So, kind of rude if I don't. Other than that, yeah, I kind of just mentioned it, but the first time I won state for number sense, I was talking with the other 2 guys, Jack Terrell, William Root, and, I kind of figured, how they, the coaches will grade the tests, and then, they'll either go with the score to you and tell you how you did, tell you, where you ended up, or you could just wait until the award ceremony. And we all figured that, our coaches would tell us, so, like, whatever. So I was with my team, and my coach, Mr. Watt, like, comes out, like, his arms, like, raised up. And I was like, okay, good news, hopefully. And so he was like, yeah, you got a 364, and the other 2 guys got a 355. And so it was like the happiest moment of my young life, especially because there was question 10. I written a 3 and there was an 8 in the answer. There was not a 3 in the answer.
Really?
Yeah, so I got a completely illegitimate state championship.
Hey, if they can't tell in the grading room, so interesting.
Yeah, it felt very sketchy, but apparently it was good.
Hey.
And then one more is calculator related. I didn't win state, but I was always like super, I want to be good at this. I want to be like good enough to at least like help the team, And so district my senior year, I didn't even win. I got 2nd, but I got a 301, and that was quite probably the happiest I've been for a single score.
Hey, breaking 300, man, that's air I'll never breathe. So that breaking a 300 is really special in any of those events.
Got to practice.
Wow. Hey, how does it feel to be a state champion? How does it feel?
So there's like various modes of feeling. Like freshman year, we won team, and I was extremely mad because I, like I said, I missed 16 questions on the test. And I was like, I could have, if I'd have missed 10, I would have been the state champ,
Wow.
So there's sometimes it's bad, and then sometimes, but 364 in my junior year, I felt just so happy, so relieved because I was like, I knew I could, but also, frankly, whether you miss 5 or 7 is kind of random. Like we don't love saying it because we want to think the best person won every time, but like, on a different day, like Jack could have gotten a 382 or I could have gotten a 301 or something. So, just it felt really good to see my name on top, no matter like what else would happen in any other day. And then it was really funny. My senior year, I actually just had like completely different feelings. My senior year for math, I was cackling because it was a three-way tie for first with a 340, and I didn't know what to do with that. Like it just felt super silly. For number sense, I felt okay, but also my teammates kind of didn't do great, so I was kind of sad. So like we got fourth, I believe, as a team, which doesn't feel great.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Hey, so where do you keep those gold medals?
You'd have to ask my mother.
Oh, really? Mama has them taken care of.
Yeah, so after I graduated and left for college, my parents moved. And so like the big, case that they had all the, like trophies from, TMSCA meets and that stuff, ninth grade, number since first place. Those all got put in a box. I'm not sure where the medals went.
Hey, see if you can find them and proudly display them. Though they're special. They're special. You were
Yeah,
number one in the state of
every
Texas.
every once in a while, I'll like open a drawer and see just like the little metal bag and be like, "Oh, what's this? Second place team, calculator from whatever."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, those state medals are special. Hey, where did you go to college? What degree did you earn?
So I went to Cornell. Um,
Ooh, okay.
yeah, Cornell. It's contrary to popular belief, it's not in New York City. It's just in New York. It's in this like not secluded, but central New York is very foresty, very cool. It's just really beautiful. Um, so yeah, I went to Cornell. I did not graduate from Cornell. So some combination of like depression and just having financial issues made it so that I was a couple semesters behind, and so I was taking off the year 2019 into 2020, and I was going to come back in fall 2020. And as you can imagine, it was a little bit difficult to come back in fall 2020,
Yeah, COVID.
especially because they, I believe, had some sort of like, we want you to be there on campus, but we don't want you to be like in classes. And it was not worth the time or energy to, try to get back and all that stuff. So I ended up finding some small school online, getting a degree there. And honestly, not the worst decision. I'm pretty happy with it. Like, obviously, you worked really hard to go to an extremely good college like Cornell. And so you want to see it through. But also, it's probably just the more responsible decision to get a degree and get a job and then worry about, the prestige of it later.
And life happens, man. Life happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always going to happen. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Do you think your UIL experience helped you with that journey at all?
So honestly, I don't know like that the competition part helped, but definitely the interacting with people, just like learning how to be a person. I was 12 my freshman year. I
Ooh, really?
12-year-olds. So more than anything, I think UIL really just helped me to be able to develop interpersonal relationships and be able to like help teach people, help lead people, and even though you're still kind of dumb at 16 years old, it was a whole lot better.
Hey, you ever return to Veterans Memorial, or is that part of your distant past? Do you stay connected with some of those guys?
So I keep in touch with a couple of people from vets, but I haven't been there, I think, since I graduated. um yeah, I don't know if it's worth it right now to go back, just because I live 500 miles away. But it's it's one of those things. Like in preparation for this, I looked through my old scores and all that stuff, and I checked if the teams were doing well at all. And Shoutouts Kimberly Garza, the only person to medal since I left. Um, Otherwise, it's been really barren. So part of me wants to just like go in and be like, "Hey, I'm your coach now. Let's learn."
Hey, let me tell you
I know the
something.
Mission Collegiate kids are like really good. So that's something.
Hey, let me tell you something. That sentiment you just expressed, there is a lot of beauty to coaching. All right, I'm a coach, right? So there is a lot of beauty to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the worst career decision to go back and give back and share a passion. It's all good. But who knows where life will take you, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you value the most about your UIL journey?
I mean, I touched upon it before, but like just the people, the memories that I made. For every getting really happy about the 300, there's 50 hours in the Spear Memorial Library, just like drilling number sense tests or learning about calculator stuff, you know, like that sort of thing. Just going on trips, being in the car, going at dubiously legal speeds, um, being at the hotel, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that, the more that I think about UIL, the more that it was the people that kept me there and that were like, that made me happy there. Obviously, it's easy for me to say that, I got medals and I did well. I was a smart guy, but like, honestly, like, I think the people were just really, really great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, three-time state champion Darius Davis. What advice would you have for any youngster that comes across this interview?
Um, I mean, first off, UIL is supposed to be fun. And I know that, like, in competition and all that stuff, you kind of lose sight of it because you want to win. But trust me, it's a lot more fun to win with a smile than it is to, like, be relieved that you won, you know? And part of that is, having, say, what? Part of that is having a lot of people around you that have helped and that you worked with, like, yeah, just have people around you that you enjoy and focus on your own happiness, and then the results will come. And if they don't come, well, you were happy anyways. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great advice. Great advice. Hey, you're still a young man. You're still a young man, but what does the future have in store for you, Mr. Darius Davis?
I just dropped something. Uh, I don't really know. I'm like I said, I'm vibing. I kind of want to go get a master's at some point in the near future, but that really depends on how well I can save money and that sort of thing. Other than that, don't really have anything set in stone. I'm just living the life of a single mid-20s dude who's got some money.
Hey, don't discount the importance of what you're doing right now. That healthcare is important. It's meaningful in people's lives.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I enjoy the fact that like I work at a place that does good things.
That's meaningful. Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Darius. Mr. Darius Davis, any parting words or final thoughts as we conclude this interview?
Yeah, can I actually give some like late shoutouts?
Yes, please.
So the Texas Math Forum people, both like Mr. Potter and everyone who was on there, Wesley Reynolds, I think you had an interview with him before. Um, Vikrant, Ross Coker, a bunch of those people really helped me my freshman year when I was like looking for just advice and looking for information that maybe my team didn't know. Also, the Edinburgh North team, Mr. Beto Garza, Juan, who I went to college with, great guy, Andrew, um, Oliver, Chris, Omar, Marco, and then Ale. Just all wonderful people. They would do practices with us, and it was really good. They'd like write tests. Like we'd all come with our own homebrew tests, and mine were always terrible. They were way too hard. Um, just yeah, no, really, really warm, nice people, and I just have so much gratitude for them.
Oh, that's a nice late shout out. That's great. I'm very glad you mentioned them. Awesome, awesome. Anything else for us?
No, just remember, have fun. UIL is a cool time, and best of luck with your test taking.
Hey, Darius Davis, 3-time state champion. I can't tell you how you've been so gracious with your time, and I really appreciate you sharing your story, your perspective with my audience. Hey, you're in Fort Worth. I'm in Houston. You're ever in this neck of the woods, man, look me up. You know, there's a lot of great taquerias in Houston. I'm sure there are in Fort Worth too, but there's some good places to chow down in Houston.
I think there's one that I can think of. Otherwise, it's real Tex-Mex.
Hey, well, keep me in mind if you're ever in these parts.
Yeah, will do. I do a lot of traveling, so.
Awesome, awesome. Mr. Darius Davis, I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you. I wish you the best of luck and farewell. Farewell.
Yep, it's been fun.
Thank you, thank you. Take care. Wow, what a fantastic young man. Mr. Darius Davis graciously giving of his time and sharing his UIL story. 3-time state champion from Veterans Memorial High School down in Mission, Texas. Mr. Darius Davis, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me take a quick moment and ask that if you enjoy this content, could you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's spread this joy, let's spread this beauty to as many people as possible. I have plenty of wonderful things in store for this channel, and I truly appreciate your support. My name is Saul Gandu, and this is Texas Mad.